Okay, so the match is about to start. Yep, it's starting now. Map 1 starting. Get my audio up.
Hey Donny, everything good here?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. We're starting right now.
First map is Elevation Koth. PR is on Ghost. ID is on Phantoms. Let's see how they start. I'm gonna expect a lot of frags to come out in the first couple seconds. Yep. No kills yet, and then Oscar got a kill. I know Oscar is pretty good on this map, but they just triple capped too fast. I do think Elevation Koth is Phantom-sided, and ID has Oscar, so in my opinion I think ID is gonna win, but it could go to anyone. It just matters how they use the positions better, and frags, who uses those better. I gotta get my free cam speed right. Here we go. ID solo capping, but it doesn't go through. PR is playing like a team pretty well, though any position so quickly. They did double cap pretty fast, but PR is right back on it. This buddy system is pretty powerful. Once they get the long window control and they're watching bottom terrace, and there's a couple rotations here and they're watching each other's back, it's a pretty strong hold. PR is losing mid control, but spawns are so close to hill that they can get back almost instantly, so it doesn't even matter if they die. ID is clearing them out, and they're gonna cap. Yep. Oh, they didn't cap. This double should work, and they step off hill. That's interesting. They could have had a cap there, but they stepped off hill. And these frags are just too powerful for a single cap. They have to cap a couple at a time if they want to be fast enough to outpace the frags. This map is nice for spectating because you can see all the action in one shot basically. This is a guaranteed cap. That was good, clear. Now they just have to hold terrace. I'm not sure how much the delay is. Oh, show tab leaderboard. So Build is top fragging as I would expect him to. Then we have Andre on ID, and ID is actually doing pretty consistent. Everyone has around the same stat line, but PRs, the bottom fraggers are lagging. So I would sub Nathan out if I was a PR guy. PR might get a cap here, but if they do, yeah, it would get negated pretty fast. The Phantom side strength is really starting to show. ID's getting PR cleared out before they can even get to mid. And with them holding these powerful positions with better long-range lines of sight, ID can do better and recover better. Plus they're using this wood ramp flank really well. ID has a spawn back here, and every time they get this spawn, they can just flank double. And it's really hard to deal with as a ghost. Finally got the free cam to slow down, yes. Yeah, ID is getting in the groove right now. PR needs to play as a team, just like ID is doing. Now that ID is occupying mid, PR is getting worse spawns, so they're spawning all the way back in red warehouse instead of under elevators, which is gonna hurt them timing wise. If they all spawned together and pushed together, they maybe could. These trades are important and they're not getting them. Terrace is such a good position to hold. They really need these frags. I would... someone was subbed out, so now G4X is in. And everyone on ID is still going strong. Now Bryce is top fragging for PR, but Build is negative now. Nathan is not doing strong. I would sub Hawk in. I think Hawk is good on this map. And Aaron maybe. But PR needs to come together. They're all separated. Build is trying to do as much as he can, but when you go mid alone without any of your teammates, it's hard. They have the potential to cap here. He could if he stays on. Oh, that was... I bet the line was almost there. You want to see PR come back from this. These frags cleared out mid, now they can go for hill. They have to get hill here. Andre's frag was pretty detrimental, but as long as PR can recover, it's only a single cap, so if they can frag it before they get it, might be able to prevent it. Yep, right as I predicted, PR is the better team with frags, so I knew that they'd be able to defend hill like that when they got the under elevator spawn. So this is good for PR now. They can start coming back. I'm not sure how active ID has been lately, but from what I've heard, they've been trying to get more scrims, and maybe they've been working on their frags, because I'm noticing that they're using more than I would expect them to. And again, with the new meta, they kind of have to learn frags if they want to keep up. Yes, this terrace hold is really good right now. It's so strong when there are multiple people focusing on this terrace. Jimmy just being in a sleeper position like that, you can really deny cap, and that can save a couple seconds. Build with the impact. That's all he got, but at least there's less people in mid now. If they can capitalize on this, then they can get a quick cap back before ID comes back to mid. And ID's back to mid now, so PR has to recover. Let's look at the leaderboard now. Build top fragging. Andre top fragging. Nathan is still in, and Jimmy is still in. I would really try and sub someone out if I was PR. And now, Oscar isn't doing as expected. That's okay. This is the toughest competition in the league right now. This is the highest level that they could do. So it's alright if people are doing less than they otherwise would. Because there's a lot of pressure on them right now. PR is really trying to go for Hill. They can get this right now. This was a perfect team play. If only they didn't get wiped, because ID's gonna get the Hill back quickly. Unless Nolan has a good frag. Nolan! Ooh, that was clean. And that's how impactful frags are on this map. If you spawn under elevators, you can get such a free frag on Hill and deny it. That's so much impact. ID's trying to come to this terrace side because they know it's powerful, but Ghost is doing a good job. They were doing a good job so far of keeping them out, and actually they recovered well too. So now Ghosts are just trying to get into anti-frag positions, not playing mid-ramp because they'll get fragged out quickly. They're trying to... This is how this map is played at a higher level. They push up and don't play in their spawn because they'll get fragged out. Play unpredictable and really fast-paced around the hill. You have the best chance of denying hill when you do that. And these frags are always going to be the saving grace when you're trying to defend hill. PR has a really good chance of winning this. They are down right now, but right now it's anyone's game. PR is playing really strong right now. So let's look at leaderboard. Nolan is coming in strong, so is Bryce, and Bill top fragging with the OBJ impact. ID got a nice cap and they have full control over mid right now. PR kind of wiped them, not quite. No, Sammer in mid, one person that they didn't expect is enough for them to stop all the hopes of capping. And then on ID's side, Andre, you can really see the difference between him and his team. Divine is going strong, but he's not playing as much OBJ as Andre is. Whereas on PR, seems like the only thing they can do better than ID, I would say, is play OBJ. But the skill difference in gunplay, it might just make the difference because Koth game mode is more tied to gunplay than other objective game modes like hardpoint or flare dom. So the gunplay is still the most important factor for a game like this. You can't really catch anyone unpredictably that much when at this high level of competition. And plus the Phantom side difference, they can get back to mid so quickly, they can get frags on hill quickly, and the positions that they have, in my opinion, are better. ID's supporting roster is really consistent. They're all fragging around the same, whereas PR, the bottom fraggers, are lagging behind. I would say ID's practice is paying off. They're playing this relatively newer comp map like they're accustomed to it already, which is expected. I think the preparation that went into them knowing that they would play PR, that has paid off so far, and ID is going to be taking map 1. The outcome might have been different if PR was on Phantom side. I'm not sure who picked this map first or who won the coin flip, but this, in all things considered, this is a really close game. It was a close game at around the 3-minute mark, and ID just pulled ahead in the last 5 minutes around there. Maybe ID's past reluctance to use frags has worked for them because they're not running into every single gunfight holding a frag. Unlike PR runs around corners holding frags trying to get hill. But when you don't have hill, defending hill is less important than clearing people off of their positions. So first round goes to ID. Impressive stats by Andre and Divine and Oscar. Oscar picked up the pace for the second half of the first map. And everyone on ID did strong. Let's see if PR can make a comeback or if it's going to be 2-0. PR banned Black Site. That's what Rose said. So I forgot what second map is. I'm going to ask a ref. I'm not exactly sure what maps PR is strongest on. I think probably Metro maybe. And I think they would probably win Neon too. Metro TDM is next. I wonder who picked that. So is it the same sides or opposite sides? If it's Metro TDM, TDM plays different on Metro than Koth does, so I'm not sure if whoever chose the side for Metro TDM, I'm not sure if they would want Ghosts or Phantoms, because at the highest level it might be different than just a default Phantoms pick. Oh no, yep. So whoever chose sides, PR's on Phantoms and ID is on Ghosts. You want to see a 1-1, you want to see a PR win this, but ID is super strong on Metro 2. Metro is one of the oldest comp maps, so these top teams are always going to be good at it. They're never gonna falter on Metro, in my opinion, unless they're missing some of the roster. But both teams brought a really good roster today, I think, but PR might have trouble subbing their worst players out. Well, let's see how Metro TDM goes. I'm rooting for PR so we can get an exciting third map. I'm gonna spawn in and start playing till the map switches. Instantly dies. Return. The warm-up of a majors team is so much different than a minors team warm-up. It's like you can't actually do anything stupid, because then 5 people will be shooting at you. Let's hope this map starts soon. I think ID is taking a timeout right now. Max timeouts would be 5 minutes. So in less than 5 minutes, the next map is going to start. Tier 1 color caster. I think this is my first time casting by myself. I think I'm. Tell me how good of a job I'm doing right now, chat. Thanks, Ezra. I'm hoping this next map starts soon so we can get back to the action. Next map is Metro TDM and PR is on Phantoms, if you just tuned in. I'm hoping PR wins this. Wins the map at least. Whoever's the better team, they should win the match. But the round, so the rest of it is interesting, I hope it goes 1-1. Maybe I need some warm-up for Azon's match later. Thanks, SitPyRC. Yeah, I think my analysis is slower than Danknom, a lot slower, but I try and be deliberate in what I say. I remind you of your grandfather? That's nice. Okay, PR said that they're ready. So the map is gonna start soon. Yep, map is starting now. Suburbia, when it's played by comp players. Alright. Yeah, Azon has a match at 7 EST. So Metro TDM is about to start. PR's on Phantoms, ID's on Ghosts. Let's see how this plays out at the very, very top level. I'm wondering if Ghosts... The reason I don't like Ghosts on TDM is because the spawn trap, Phantoms get both side flanks, and for TDM you don't have to run and collect tags. So if you just stay in their spawn, you can be really, really annoying to the Ghosts, and that can be enough to win the match for Phantoms. You can see that they have a flank going on this side already. Actually, they just got to side box. And they're... Yeah, it's good that both teams got a side box. I think any other player other than Andre would have lost this gunfight. Andre's just... the confidence to win this is just insane. Yeah, Phantoms... The real strength for Phantom's side is Eskies, because there's a spawn right here, so if there's any teammates up here, Phantoms are gonna spawn at Eskies, and that gives them a route straight into mid. Who's it's Pardus? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, Phantoms, when they spawn here, they get Eskies control, and that's the main thing Ghosts have to worry about. There's a counter frag, so Ghosts spawn right there, and if they hold G, they can frag sidebox immediately on spawn. Yeah, just like that. And that's easy kills for every game mode. But it's most useful for TDM and Koth, because in hardpoint people are going to be rotating all around the map, and in KC the kill doesn't matter unless you get the tag, so TDM and Koth, that frag is going to be used the most. If they don't, if ID doesn't keep using this frag, then Phantoms is going to keep Eskies with no consequences, and you don't want that to happen. As of right now, ID is 10 up on TDM, 10 up on kills. They just cleared Eskies, so wow, yeah. For the TDM Eskies hold, usually the anchor sits around ticket booth somewhere here. Right where Spiky is. Ticket concrete so they don't get penned, and frags are harder to get there. They're playing anti-frag. Spiky knows someone is down here because the frag just came there. This is exactly how the anchors should be playing. Either here or back ticket if they're coming up mid. If Bryce stays here long enough, then he'll get teammates to spawn with him. That would be the most beneficial thing that could happen. And now what you see... Oh no, Nolan just died in their spawn. But if he stayed in their spawn longer, he could have done a lot more damage. Spirals was playing that long TDM head glitch, but he actually got picked off, which was... Maybe he was playing the head glitch wrong, but that's such a strong head glitch that maybe he shouldn't be dying there. What gun is Nathan using? A1? AUG A1. So ID is coming in really strong. Divine is holding this purple all by himself. Speaking of purple, we just died. So maybe PR can come through purple and red and get some map control back. They are sandwiching mid through sidebox and purple. So if they can keep this and get more teammates here, it's going to be beneficial. Nolan almost killed Spirals, but he weakened him enough for Nathan to take him out, or someone from mid. Now let's check leaderboard. PR is coming back. The kill difference isn't 10 anymore, so if PR plays right, then they can get back on this. They are holding Eskies just like they should. Buddy systeming Eskies. So let's take a look at leaderboard. PR does have a really good mid control right now, so let's watch this. Oscar top fragging. Free Divine is 12 and 2. I guess that's just from how well he holds purple. He was holding purple for a long time, and I was focusing on Eskies, but Free Divine 12 and 2. Insane impact for TDM. But you can see PR is coming back. It's only a 2 kill difference. Spiral's bottom fragging 4 and 6. Spiky not doing great on the LMG slot. Nathan and Bryce are doing worse than their teammates for TDM. If it was OBJ, maybe they can get more impact, but TDM, the only thing that matters is kill difference and KDR. Probably kill difference more than KDR. But anyways, PR does have them all in their spawn. I do want to see a flank come around, a flank on the bottom of the map, because that could change the tide for the rest of the game. So we have Nolan doing uncharacteristically bad compared to his teammate, compared to the top 2 frags, Build and Pardis. But you can probably expect that Nolan is going to come back from this. I don't know what gun he's using right now. And Divine is back in purple where he likes to be. Divine just knows how to play this so well. He's gonna stay in purple forever until he dies, actually. Because that's just how they play this. Andre got a little too ambitious and pushed up. Died in the greed connector, but it's alright. Divine might be the best, one of like the best purple players. Oh my! 19 and 2. Okay, for the record, Divine was 19 and 2 before he just died right there. 19 and 2 holding purple. So let's get a maybe best purple player question mark. Maybe. Maybe Andre could do the same thing if he focused on purple, but yeah. Divine is just crazy on purple. You know that's where he wants to get back. He's trying to go into purple again. He's so confident in purple that he knows that once he gets there, he's gonna get a crazy amount of impact. You know he's listening for footsteps right here. Nolan dropped down, and he's playing the purple kiosk because he knows that there's multiple enemies in purple and he doesn't want to die stupidly. He's gonna wait for them, wait for his teammates, and be smart like that. Lag spike? No. There's 3 Phantoms in purple, holding this well. That's why you know Divine isn't pushing in, because the Phantoms have 3 people in here. Phantoms are trying to open up the rest of the map through here, and it's going well. Phantoms just cleared red and purple, but they don't have any presence on it. Oh, that's convenient. It's Pardis just spawned on Eskies. That was unexpected because there were no teammates over there. But that's really helpful for Phantoms to spawn in Eskies. Andre might be the one to negate it. Yeah, they just traded, but that's alright. PR is only 3 down. They're only 2 down right now. It's actually a completely tie game. So let's check the leaderboard again. Free Divine is 20 and 5. You know Free Divine just loves Metro. Probably. Yeah, these old comp players just love Metro. Let's see, It's Pardis is doing great, and Nathan is doing really good too. But the bottom frags for PR are maybe feeling the pressure a little bit. you know that they want to play with, you know that they want to play buddy systems so that they trade more, because it's really important in TDM, and that they want to get their KDRs up. Oscar started using the 107. I'm not sure if he's been using it, but I just started noticing that. And yeah, PR coming into the Eskies, spawning there, is just so beneficial for them. Oscar fragged side door from their spawn and prevented him from pushing up. This concrete frag is really easy to hit too. Once you hit this backboard, anyone in concrete holding side door is gonna die. So you want to see Phantoms being more creative, like Nathan down here. You just hope that he anticipates the spawn. He noticed Oscar, and you want to see him get more done here. And yeah, he got killed immediately. But PR is up now. PR is up. So while their individual players aren't doing as good as ID stats-wise, the team as a whole is going positive, and that's really helping them be up so far. But actually, ID just brought it back to a tie game. I knew this would be closer than Elevation would, or I knew this would be a good match, and I'm hoping for PR to win. Divine is back in his purple spot. You know he likes to be here. He's just gonna listen for footsteps, watch the radar. Playing this perfectly, hoping anyone that goes Eskies, playing passive, peeking only at the right time, and rushing. He's actually rushing because he can now. He's just so confident. He might even push up all the way into their spawn, but he doesn't because he knows that to be a team player, you don't always have to push up. This hold by Oscar and Spikey is gonna help them a lot. See, ID is focusing more on the team play than the individual play. Divine holding this purple by himself. Since he does this job all by himself most of the time, the rest of his team can focus on the other sides of the map and get more numbers advantages. Let's see how Bryce is going to do. Oh no, both of them pushing Eskies. This is a 2v3 situation, I think. And it went well, so now they got Eskies. Now they're back in mid, actually. So PR is back in mid. The only thing ID has to hold on to is purple. Divine and Oscar are holding this, and they don't want to lose it. They're playing so passive that it's just purple is completely locked off for PR. Even though purple's, you could almost consider it part of Phantom spawn. When ghosts are locking it off like this so powerfully, it really takes a lot of map control away from Phantoms. Let's see if Oscar can be passive enough and wait for him. Yeah. So they're grouping up in mid, and actually they're at Eskies now, so they weren't in mid. But Bryce, when he's right here, ghosts have such a strong purple hold that Bryce is reluctant to push into purple, which you know ID is doing a good job, and that helps them a lot with their other map control. Let's look at the leaderboard again. It's only a 6 kill difference. You want to see the game get down to the wire. So let's see, Divine has a 2.9 KDR. Andre is carrying. Andre has at least 10 more kills than every other player on his team. Some subs happened on ID, and the way PR is playing this is more team-based than individual-based. They're just playing the numbers, trying to get the best KDRs they can, and holding the map the best that they can. It's only a 2 kill difference now, so obviously what PR is doing is working. But Phantom side for TDM, it is different than Koth. It's not like I am just surprised that Phantoms isn't flanking their spawn that much, because that's the most annoying thing that you can do as a Phantom. What they are doing right though is they have four stacking this ticket area, and they're making sure nobody can come here. And what this helps with is with the spawning algorithm. If all the Phantoms are here, then they're all gonna spawn down here too, and that's really useful for them to get SC control, which leads into side door, and then they can get a lot of presence in ghost spawn, like what Norman is doing right here. So PR is actually up right now, up by 4 kills. Just playing this game, getting in the groove, killing them in their spawn, getting free kills, and coming back to SQ strong. The fact that nobody's in purple and nobody's going for a long flank maybe shows some short-sightedness, because a flank could really do both teams a lot of impact right now, as long as you flank the right way, because you don't want to be flanking and making a bunch of noise like Nathan did earlier. He just got 1 kill and died instantly. What's better for a flank is the annoyance factor and the tilt, and like, oh, they're in my spawn, dang it, and then just the tilting happens, and then the rest of the team gets distracted from the front part of the fighting. ID, oh, it's 40 seconds left, 1 kill difference. Let's see who wins. I know that they want to get 1 kill up. Nolan versus Andre right here. This is going to be an important fight. They're taking their time. It's tied completely even right now. Andre's carrying ID. They're hiding. They're hiding. Let's see how they play this the last second. I don't want to stalemate, but Nolan is waiting for someone to drop down. They're both waiting for people to push. Why are they doing this? No, it's gonna be a stalemate. Nobody wants to lose this second map. I mean, PR definitely doesn't want to lose, so it's a stalemate. Wow. Wow. That's interesting to say the least, but PR did play it right. ID was so strong. I think ID might be ID, I might have underestimated them, because it seems like PR might have been a little bit afraid at the end. They did not want to get 2-0'd. Or it might be still a 2-0. I don't know exactly how it works, but I mean, if you're scared like that, then that would be what you want to do, which is wow. That is very interesting. So I don't know if it's yeah, it's probably still 1-0. So actually, I'm not a ref, so I don't know how the score going, but that is good, because it means there will be another map. That is very good for the entertainment aspect of this game. This has been unexpected, to say the least. You know, actually, it wasn't that PR was scared. PR was not scared. These teams know how good each other are, and they respect each other. So when it's down to the last 30 seconds and it's completely tied up, these teams don't want to give each other an inch. They don't want to let each other win. So they respect each other so much that they're both gonna hide like that and just live to fight another day. That is very interesting. So PR is taking another timeout. Wow. This is a small intermission, very action-packed match right now. And there'll be a small intermission right now. I think PR is getting themselves together. That's awesome though. I wouldn't have it any other way. if PR didn't feel confident enough to get that last kill, it was win or lose in that second, and they didn't want to lose stupidly, so that was the right decision. Let's see. I don't know what the third map is, but PR is on Ghosts and ID is on Phantoms. Andre and Divine were carrying hard. At least Divine was. Divine, remember that he was 19-2 holding purple pretty much by himself. How is it match point? What? Okay, so management or whatever referees are saying that the next map is match point. I don't get how that works, but we're gonna see how the rest of this match plays out. I hope the ending is not dissatisfying. You want to see each team play the best that they can. There's some what is it? So the way that the match format works, I guess it's map point now. Don't quote me on that, but if you're watching the in-game chat, they're talking about how the point is since it was a stalemate for the second map. If PR wins, it should go to round 4. It should go to round 4. That doesn't make sense. Anyways, I'm just media. Don't listen to me. Yeah, it shouldn't be match point. Yeah, I'm not the only one that's saying that doesn't make sense. There has to be a better system than this. I'm gonna make an argument in chat. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna argue my case. If the stalemate was third map instead of second. It can't be 1-1. It can't be 1-1. That doesn't make sense. That's rigged. So management or referees, they're trying to figure this out. So I'm just gonna spawn in and start playing. I'm just a lowly media, it's not my job to figure this out. We'll see when the next map starts. I hope it's not an unsatisfying ending like this, because that would be both teams don't want that to happen. That is a really confusing rule. PR should not get 1 point for a stalemate, if that's what's happening. I might not be interpreting it 100%, but it seems like that's what's happening. If you've been keeping up with chat, then maybe try to... If you've been keeping up with in-game chat, maybe try to explain it. But yeah, it seems like this might not be the best option. Okay, next map. PR's on ghosts, ID's on phantoms, and you want this to be a good map. If this is a weird ending, it just doesn't make sense. Yeah, Culprit said hold up, so they might change the rule right now. That would make the most sense. They're pausing the map, so I'm gonna spawn in. This is an extra warm-up. Neon Hardpoint is the third map, so I do think PR is gonna... I really hope PR is gonna clean ID on Neon Hardpoint. PR knows the rotations. PR is better on OBJ in my opinion. I think PR is gonna clean ID on Neon Hardpoint if this is the map. That's my opinion, but I think PR is gonna win by points and not by time. But we'll see if that prediction is wrong. That's just my experience with PR. I haven't scrimmed ID as much as them. This is a very interesting match though. Alright, they're starting. PR... I don't know if they're giving Hawk playtime, but I think Hawk is good and Hawk should play. And what? Desert? Is this another warm-up? Yeah, this is another warm-up. Yeah, I can play. Another warm-up. Desert TDM. The broken map. I'm quit my sniper when I die so I can have fun.
They're currently rejoining like the third map pick because PR wanted to, so just hang on for a second.
Okay. Whoa, Divine. He fragged me. That was good frag. Alright. Oh, I need to snipe. Kill Divine. Intervention. This is just a warm-up. They're getting things figured out. It might be a timeout, I'm not sure. But the map is gonna be Neon Hardpoint and PR's on Ghosts. Okay, they're starting map 3 right now. Why is the chat dead? Because this is an intermission. The map is about to start. Exciting match, isn't it? Okay. Neon Hardpoint. I already predicted that PR would win by a landslide because their rotations are better. And they play this more, and I think. And they spawn right next to point. That's convenient. Oh, ID does too. Alright. So I'm gonna start spectating inside the point. The high upper lead. PR's getting instant points. They are playing this pretty smart, but PR's... Yeah, Nolan with the P90, I did hope someone would pick that gun because it's so good with the wall bangs. And you can clear point. They're now tied up, but even a 200 or even 100-point difference, even a 100-point difference on this game mode is almost nothing because you can come back so quickly on this game mode. So right now PR is showing ID how this has to be played. ID cannot lack on the point if they want to win this. ID has to drain. Jimmy with the SR3M going crazy. You know he likes that gun. And Nolan already with the fast rotate. That's what I was talking about with PR. They know this map so well. And Nolan right now is just baiting because it's only one on the point. It's not a serious drain, but it is enough to get the attention of ID. And then the rest of PR can surround the point from the outside. PR is playing this so strong. I knew PR would happen. ID has to adapt. ID has to adapt immediately or they're gonna lose. Because PR is too strong on this hard point. Way too strong. They're holding this. Let's see if PR makes the rotate to the outside point. This is gonna be nope, no rotates. I think it's the outside point. Oh no, never mind, it's gazebo. So ID rotated gazebo, which is good. I always get that rotate wrong. Even in my matches. But anyways, ID... Wow, they're even getting wall banged where they can't see anything. But ID is doing good on draining this. Andre equipped the P90, I think. I don't know if he started out with that, but P90 is almost essential on this map for hardpoint. All the points are wall bangable, and it's really important. ID is not draining this hard enough. There's only like 1 or 2 on at a time. PR had 4 on at once. If you and PR hasn't gotten in the point yet. Now they're rushing, but Divine is very good in close quarters. G4X is being aggressive. I don't know which side the rotate goes. Actually, PR already made the rotate. Wow. PR already made the rotate. This is going to be such a strong drain. Yep. 4-man drain. 5-man drain. The holy drain. The holy drain, everyone. PR is doing the holy drain. They're getting at least 15 seconds out of this. The holy drain right here. It's absolutely amazing. And they're not getting... There's not that much pressure on PR. Actually, so ID just got it back. The FAMAS G2, Bryce is using it now. Now they're trying to wallbang it. They know how bleak the situation is. If ID doesn't get on the point, then this is going to PR. You know for sure that the G2 is going to be brought up somewhere. The FAMAS G2 ban is going to be brought up because Bryce is using it so well here, I think. So let's check the leaderboard. Jimmy is top fragging. It's nice to see him doing that. Nolan is doing good, getting the objective. Build, everyone is on the objective. And ID, you can see that they're lacking a little bit. They're lacking with how they play this map, and they're lacking with the objective play. But they're actually coming back a little bit. You do want to see more of them on the point. This is okay. ID just got cleared off point, but it's alright because PR got cleared too. As long as they're getting points back steadily and they're keeping PR off the point with their gun skills, that's good enough for the long term. This map is going to end by points, not by time. I can almost guarantee it. PR made the rotate. 5-man drain, another 5-man drain. This rotate, they just know the rotations, and this might mean that they're going to win. That was a nice frag. Is Zudo playing? Where's Zudo? Zudo isn't here. ID has the better gunplay. So while PR might have the better OBJ play, ID definitely has the better gunplay. And it's showing. But the only thing is, they're not on the point enough. They need to stack point. You want to see them stack point. Because only one isn't enough. They need to stack this. Yeah, this is good enough. But they're running outside of point for some reason. They don't need to run outside. Ooh, that frag. That's the only consequence of stacking a point. That's gonna happen. It's unfortunate, but you can frag them, they can frag you. You just have to be better at using frags. PR's right on with the rotate too. ID is not that far behind, but PR's gonna pull ahead just because they're on point more. Nolan is doing great with the P90, getting the wall bangs, playing defensively inside point. You can wallbang them, they can wallbang you. That's how the snap plays. PR needs to take some notes out of, ID needs to take some notes out of PR's book, and they need to stack point like they did for that 1 second. And when PR's on point, they need to frag point, because frags can clear a whole room by themselves, like Bill just did earlier. Here you can see that PR is way more used to using frags. Now they're fighting for the midpoint. ID's gunplay is bringing them through, but they're not staying on OBJ enough. They need to be. And I'm just an analyst, but I think ID needs to be on OBJ. Where's the rest of their team? One on isn't enough. This is good. This is great. ID can't be caught lacking anymore though. Did you see that? Nolan just fragged himself and he didn't die. See, look. This is how PR is. PR, this is why they're dominant. And this is why they're gonna win this map. I'm sorry to say it, but I already called PR won this match. I think they're gonna win. But as I said, 100-point difference is not that much. ID can come back, but not if PR keeps making these amazing rotates. Do you see this? PR is never caught lacking with the rotates. ID needs to make at least one good rotate where they catch PR off. In the last match that ID had, when it was hardpoint, I think some people took notes. People took notes and they realized that ID is not as good on hardpoint as they are on other game modes, because they're lacking on rotates. That's all it is. So the gunplay might be better, but the rotates are seriously lacking, and that's why PR is gonna win this. PR just needs to make one more rotation and they win. ID hasn't rotated at all. This is PR's map. I called it in a landslide. Unless ID does some crazy comeback, I think PR wins this. Yeah, ID isn't even close. ID isn't even close. GG PR. I called this. PR would win this. I knew it. Come on, PR, don't prove me wrong. Don't choke. Only 10 more points for PR. Oh, that's unfortunate. You saw Andre just tried to vault on this. And you know he did that accidentally. Andre did not mean to vault on this. He was trying to shoot at Zasha, but that cost him his life. That glitch is still in the game, by the way. PR is ready for the next rotate. PR knows that it'll only take 2 seconds. It'll only take 2 seconds for them to win this. It's only going to take 2 seconds. ID is too late. PR won. PR won. There's no way. Wait, no. No! ID is denying them. ID is denying them. ID wants this win. This is insane. ID is finally picking it up, but it's too late. PR just needs to get 8 more points. PR just needs 8 more points. And they can't get it. Why can't they get it? No way. Get on point, ID. What is Divine doing? That's the only way they're going to come back. One more mid-rotate. They need to hold their point. One more mid-rotate and they win. It seems like they're not going to be able to get on this point. Is this a choke? This can't be a choke. One more rotate and they win. Come on, rotate. Don't go. Oh, come on. 5 points away. 5 points away. Rotate. Rotate. Come on, PR. You can win. ID. ID is playing this. Like, this is very shocking. PR needs to get a good frag on this point where ID's actually coming back strong. That frag on the point. Okay. PR just needs 5 more points. 2 more points. Ah, PR won. I thought it would be a landslide. But this was very close. ID almost played that to perfection. Yeah, that was a very, very good game. I knew PR would win the hard point. If ID had some better rotations, they would have won because their gunplay was impeccable. So I don't know if there's another round or not, but if PR won, that would be disappointing. Oh, good. Tiebreaker. Yes, tiebreaker. Let's go. Yeah, the OBJ Warriors woke up in ID, but they woke up too late. The rotates were too late. Wow. You can see how fast they adapted, but unfortunately, they didn't adapt fast enough. No, and it's not best of 5. So what happened in map 2, it was a complete stalemate. So the 4th map is a tiebreaker. So it was a best of 3, but there was 1 stalemate, so now there's a tiebreaker. I wonder if they're in the ref VC. Nope. I bet their voice chat was freaking out about that. PR almost fumbled. If PR fumbled that would have been the biggest choke in PF history ever. Yeah, Warehouse. So they PR banned Black Site, ID banned Warehouse because Warehouse is completely one-sided. You already know that. No, PR banned Warehouse. Okay. What? They have to ban Warehouse because everyone knows Warehouse is super one-sided for Flare Dom, and the tiebreaker map is going to be Flare Dom. So let's take a look at chat right now. At the in-game chat, they're trying to decide. Let me make the... So take a look at in-game chat. They're doing bans right now for the tiebreaker map. They're going to ban maps until one map is left, and then they're going to play Flare Dom on that map. So you really don't want unbalanced maps to be there. Flare Dom, it's gonna play differently than Hardpoint because there's no rotations involved. It's just getting a point, knowing when there's nobody at the point. It's gonna be, what else is there involved in Flare Dom? Flare Dom, instead of rotations, it's more like, yeah, simple map control. Flare Dom is just going to be a map control battle, and if they're playing it optimally at the highest level, they might only take 2 points, 2 Dom points, and leave the 3rd one free. But actually, if anyone remembers SCL Season 1 Finals, the last map was Flare Dom, and it was on Suburbia, and each team was going across to the other team's spawn and capping that point. So you might see it play differently than how you expect. Elevation Flare Dom. Elevation Flare Dom. So this is... I think it's Phantom sided. I think it's Phantom sided. Ooh. Yeah, it's Phantom sided because PR chose. Wait, whoa. Build said heads. Build said heads. Yeah, I think ID gets map pick. I mean side pick. ID gets side pick. Is build even a rep though? I don't know if build is a rep. Yeah, it has to be elevation again because it's a tiebreaker map. Is build a team rep? I gotta check. Just having some fun in the chat. Everything is going on in the in-game chat right now, so we're just watching that. Elevation Flare Dom. Yeah, PR did get Phantoms, so PR got Phantoms. Let's make the UI scale normal now. Actually, no. I'll keep it like this until the map switches. Oh yeah, Divine said heads before. Okay, I didn't catch that. At least that bogus rule, if there was a rule like that, at least it wasn't enacted. Because this is a much more interesting match. And actually, yeah, they might meet each other in finals again. So this might just be, yeah, whoever wins this match gets like a week where they don't have to play, I think. Don't quote me on it. Anyways, round is starting. Elevation Flare Dom. PR is on Phantoms, and they're getting the free point immediately. What this map is about is map control, and PR lost it. PR only has one wing of map. ID has B and C for free. So we're back on elevation. If anyone has deja vu, this is the tiebreaker. So it's Flare Dom. And Bryce defended the hill point beautifully. Bryce solo capped it, I think. Maybe his teammate baited a kill so we could get the cap. That's very good. Now PR has map control. Even a little bit. Nolan and Zasha are low health, but just Nolan being here is gonna help. See, Zasha doesn't even have to peek for the map control to be good. Divine is going for a long flank on the A point, which is very good for shaking things up. But as you can see, PR has C and B. I do think this map is Phantom sided because Phantoms get a wood ramp spawn, and that gives you direct access to the B point, and that gives you Phantoms is better for the Koth point anyways. So yeah, that's the reason I would think it's Phantom sided. I don't think Ghost has any redeeming qualities. They don't have a high, what's it called? Ghosts don't have elevated positions. Phantoms do. Phantoms have terrace in this. Phantoms have terrace long where they can look over mid ramp, and if Ghosts would try and defend B point, it would take too much resources away from mid. And actually, PR has a triple cap right now. This is really good. Build is playing an off angle, but he turned away at the wrong moment. And yeah, so when PR got a triple cap, they spread themselves too thin, and ID was able to get back 2 points. They're probably going to get back all 3 points right now, unless Nolan denies this. Yep, Nolan denied it, but they still have these wing points. A is completely free for PR, but they haven't noticed yet. And Jimmy's going for A now, so that's good. the map control is still there because they're surrounding mid. Andre is completely alone in mid, but it's actually a good thing because no one has noticed him and he's made no noise, which is very smart. Oscar actually cleared Jimmy from A, and now he's just gonna sit on it. So usually when people hold A, they're gonna be sitting right here. Oscar's confident enough to take gunfights right from that head glitch, which he got some damage, so he's gonna fall back now. He knows that wasn't the best decision. Now he gets cleared. PR is gonna get a triple cap again. Zasha splits off from build. Nice guys. Oh no, never mind. ID got the Tetris point back, but this wood ramp spawn is very good for PR to get back on B really quickly. Oscar jumped off the C point to try and get kills, which was actually useful since his teammate helped him out, and now they can both buddy system their way into mid, even though Oscar has one sliver of health. That was a good play from ID. PR is winning, and there's 11 minutes left. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. Let me go up here first. What a nice view. So Bryce is carrying PR very hard. 16 and 8, 2 KDR. Bryce didn't, I don't think, or no. Yeah, Bryce did good the first time around on Elevation 2. Nolan is playing really efficiently with his KDR, but he hasn't capped that much, so maybe he's just defending points. And on ID's side, you can see where they're lacking. Oh my god, Andre is 4 and 12. So ID is really struggling to play OBJ. They have to grind just to get points. They're playing less as a team, getting less kills. PR is playing more efficiently. But it's still anyone's game right now. There's 10 minutes left. ID did get some map control back, playing buddy system like they're supposed to, but the frags are too strong anyways. And PR's map control, they got it back. And A is still free. Both teams don't seem to care about it that much. Might be a mistake, but it might be a calculated risk. Oscar now knows that A is free. So yeah, that was good. Sometimes points are just given to you and there's nobody going to be defending them. If Oscar brings attention to A, then they go to it, then that means PR is spread more thin. And now they can get these 2 points and they don't have to worry about A anymore once they have mid. That is the utility of capping A. It's just to distract PR. Because I think A is a PR-sided point. I mean, A is a Phantom-sided point. So if ghosts get to it, it's just a big distraction. And it's to say we're going to spread you thin and we're going to get the other points back that matter more. Which is exactly what they've been doing. And the Divine and Andre duo right here playing buddy system on Terrace. This is really strong. They get fragged out anyways. Frags don't care how good you are, they're just gonna kill you. Unless sometimes they don't register at all. Build went all the way to A to clear it. Maybe didn't need to go that far, because now they don't have any mid presence. Except for Build and Zasha. But there's 4 people focusing on mid. This is a nice flank from Build, he's gonna get some kills here. That was good. Build got some impact, but none of his team is there to back him up. PR is focused on the Tetris point, but Bryce did notice that Divine went to A for free, but it doesn't matter because they can get mid for free now. So now they have it's only Jimmy holding the Tetris point all by himself. He's just trying to last. He didn't last that long, but Build got A back. Build recovered A. Because he chased Divine. Probably Bryce gave him a call out, and then right after he capped, he killed Divine. Good frags from Zasha. Sometimes you don't have to gun fight if you have a frag. You chase people to a point, let them cap, let them think they're safe, and then you kill them in the back. That's a good strategy. Nolan kills C, but it's too late because they already got the cap. Divine with full health defending it against Nolan and Bryce. Divine is trying to watch his back too. He knows that there could be enemies anywhere, and actually his buddy got the flank on Nolan from Terrace. So now they're all going A, and they're actually spread out. PR is doing a much better job of buddy systeming. They're playing as a team, not spreading out as much, and that's why they're a little bit ahead right now. And PR is doing a good job of getting the free points like this. Let's take a look at the leaderboard again. Bryce lost a lot of KDR. Nolan is doing good, but he has less objective impact than the top of the leaderboard. Build is doing really good on impact. PR had a triple cap just for a second, and then ID got the Tetris point back. Nolan's gunplay right here helped them defend mid until their teammates got back to the hill point. And this is map control completely back for PR. This is going to help them a lot. They don't even need to get B point, but they're going there anyways. Nolan and Zasha at not Tetris. They're at Terrace. And this presence is just gonna... This presence is mid presence, and it's also heli presence, which is the A point. So it's really helpful for Phantoms to have this. They did clear PR out of mid, so they get a free C point. And they're gonna go to A immediately too. And PR doesn't seem to notice that they're completely, or maybe not notice, but they haven't reacted to mid yet. Divine got a nice progressed position, but he didn't make any use of it. It's just the movement difference. Sometimes it's hard to aim like that when there's multiple opponents. PR, this is really the important part of playing as a team. You saw them triple. It was 3 versus 1 in mid, and PR is looking pretty comfortable right now, as long as they keep some map control. Nolan was good in this position, but it doesn't matter that he died because Bryce came in hot with a frag the hill point, just like he's done probably hundreds of times before. ID gets a good spawn here, but they get fragged out again. The frags on elevation are so annoying to play against. And PR utilizing frags to that degree is making a big difference for how much they have to worry about things. If you can pick 1 or 2 off with the frag, it's going to help you out a lot. Stylis is roughing Nolan, but it doesn't matter. Nolan is comfortable playing passive, waiting for people to come to him. And now that the whole team is at mid, they have mid control again, and they're not going to lose it for a bit. They did kind of walk out of mid, but that's okay. Nolan is so comfortable in this ladder position. It's okay that he died, because his team is coming right back into it, replacing him on the ladder position. But ID is playing as a team now, using more frags. More and more frags as the game progresses. The frags might make the difference in this round. Andre's getting the free point at A. ID could still come back. Zasha, I think, is at podium. He was trying to play the point without having the point, which isn't optimal, I guess, when you don't have a buddy. Divine knows that his footsteps are making noise. He's playing to accommodate that. ID, I can see them using a lot more team play now. And with their stronger gunplay, it's making the difference. ID's coming back, actually. PR got wiped. PR just got wiped. PR is going to get triple capped on. There's nothing they can do about it. They're all in blue warehouse. They could maybe get A back quickly if Zasha wins this gunfight, but Sparrows knows how to play this point. Just listen. That was a rough gunfight, but it's okay. Zasha's going to get the point back, but they're still locked out of mid. They got C for a moment, and then they lost it. ID, maybe it's taking them couple minutes to figure it out, but once they do, their gunplay is gonna win. PR is spread out now. Because they're spawning, they're not spawning together, they're not playing together, and that's losing them points. They're all so spread out. ID has a triple cap, they're gonna come back. They're coming back, it's anyone's game now. ID is looking so strong now. They got back in their step. Let's take a look at the stats. You would expect Oscar to be top fragging, and there he is at the top of the leaderboard. And then it's Andre, and then Divine, and Spiral's doing pretty good. The Phantom side is looking a little weaker in the KDR department, but they're making it up by OBJ play. If you saw earlier, Andre was 3-12, and he brought his KDR back to almost neutral. And it's really PR. So PR was spread out, but now they all converged onto B just to cap. They need. They all got wiped again. ID's coming back, and there's nothing PR can do about it if they don't play as a team. This is nice. PR is coming back into mid, 3 strong. They got 2 caps over here. If they deny the hill point for a little while, then they could pull it off. Hill point is capped by ID. Frags are gonna do a lot of damage. ID's going for A. They're gonna get this hill point back. This is a very close game. Jimmy knows that he needs to hold the terrace point. And he spots Spirals. Spirals trying to make a sneaky play, but Jimmy knows that right now is crunch time and he needs to make... Yeah, Jimmy plays the position perfectly. They're back on mid. Oscar needs a cap right now. Oscar gets denied. ID needs one more cap. ID needs a cap. They might not win by kills. Spirals might make the difference. No, he gets fragged. PR won this. I think, yeah. Andre making the sneaky cap at A, but it's not enough. PR won by 4 points. Divine is really showing up. 53 kills compared to Phantoms. Oh my. That was such an intense match. I did think PR was stronger on the OBJ. Wow. So that means PR gets a so PR doesn't have to play next weekend, and ID is gonna play the winner of the Azon versus Pit match. And then after that they're gonna play PR again for the finals of SCL Season 2. That was a really good, well played match. I bet PR is really happy with the stalemate, and then they finally came back at the end. ID didn't pick it up until the second half of Elevation Flare Dome, and that might have cost them the round, because there was a couple minutes where they were playing so strong, but then they lost it. I think that could have been anyone's game. And yeah, the PR frags made a difference, denying caps at crucial points. It could have went for ID, but you can't do anything against a frag when you're on a point. It is unfortunate, but that's how the game's played. So it's a GG, PR, and ID. Awesome match. And I'm gonna end the stream now. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'm out.